Let's see, where to begin. I'm a very fast learner. Um, I'm able to learn things really quickly. I'm very dedicated and a strong candidate for your company. I have to say my favorite project was working with my band members on making new music and so forth. Also working on cars. Um, I've been a mechanic for several years, and working on cars has always been something I've been really good at. I've also played drums for almost 2 decades now, which I'm also very good at as well. I'm very artistic, very mechanically inclined. Um, so I'd have to say those two areas have been something I really enjoy doing. Conflict uh, in the workplace. Uh, I deal with conflict in the workplace on a daily basis. I mean, there's always going to be somebody that challenges your viewpoint, your beliefs, and so forth. Um, you know, it's just something you deal with no matter where you go in the career field. You just gotta keep telling yourself that you're there to get a job done, despite what animosity, anything like that you would have towards a coworker or what have you, a company in general. You're there to do a job. Focus on the job, and you'll get past the conflict. I think constructive criticism is good for anybody. It helps us to improve our skills and allows us to see, our weaknesses and gives us feedback and input as to improving those weaknesses. So feedback is always a good thing. Not many people see it as such, but I see it that feedback is a good thing. With anything, failures will happen. Um, I guess the way I respond to it is, I learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. You look at these Fortune 500 companies and these CEOs, and you tell me they haven't made a few mistakes before they made it to a Fortune 500 company. Um, look at, look at recent events. I guess look at Trump, for example. He's bankrupt and he's failed. Now he's a very successful businessman. You got to give it to him. I mean, despite the fact that I don't really like his views in the recent, presidential candidacy, um, but he is a successful businessman, despite having gone through, bankruptcy and so forth. Failure is inevitable. It's just a step that most people take on the road to success. So I see it as such. I learned from my mistakes, see what went wrong there, and then go from that. Learn from that mistake and improve yourself. How would you respond if your boss asked you to do something you had a moral objection to? I guess this would fall back to, you know, you have a job to do. Uh, your job comes before your own beliefs. I mean, if you still have an objection to it, yeah, that stinks, but you're there to do a job. So you would have to get the job done despite your beliefs. You got to put that aside. Like, for example, take our many servicemen and women who are over there combating evil every day. You think they don't have objections to what they're doing? I mean, they're there to do a job. They have to do that job. Okay, final question. What do you hope to achieve in the first 90 days on the job? It really depends on what field I go into. I'm studying for IT, security specialist. So, I mean, the first 90 days, I'd like to get a lot of hands-on training in, ethical hacking and so forth. Hacking into systems, exposing weaknesses in security and network security, things like that. So I guess for me, it would be the first 90 days. I'd like to get as much experience as possible under my belt, so I would know of new ways and tactics to combat, hackers and hacktivist groups.